folks, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Colleen, and this is not where you usually see me in my home. Usually you see me at my kitchen island where I do all my cooking videos from. But today I'm going to do a Q&A. I've asked viewers on the community channel to ask me questions about myself, my YouTube channel, Canada, whatever they like to ask me about, and I would do my best to answer those questions because lately there's been a lot of questions and I don't always get to answer them when I'm in the middle of a video, and so I thought I needed some dedicated time to answer those questions. So today there won't be a recipe, but I hope you can look back past that and know that your questions that you may have had are being answered. So the first question up on the list, which I printed off so that I had it with me, was why did I start a YouTube channel? And I had for a time been considering it because I'm a YouTube watcher. I don't watch everyday television. I am always looking to learn something new. And sometimes I get caught up in the politics that's on YouTube. But for the most part, I'm watching for new recipes. I am watching on how to make things. My husband uses it as well and managed to fix my dishwasher with a YouTube video. So we're big YouTube watchers in this house. So I looked at some of the videos and I thought, gee, that doesn't look that hard. I wonder what all goes into having a YouTube channel. And everybody kept saying, you know, you should teach cooking or teach people how to do things you do. And I'm reminded that I'm getting older, and one of my nieces calls me an elder, which I am happy to accept that. And just seemed important to be able to chronicle the recipes that I was cooking. Also, the second reason for that is that the kids would call me up or send me a text and say, can I have the recipe for your tomato soup? And then a month later, they would ask me again for the same recipe. So I thought, you know, if I just put all these videos up on YouTube that I'm making, there would be a place for all my kids to go where they could have the recipes even after I'm not here anymore. And maybe it would bring them some kind of comfort. So I looked into how to start a YouTube channel, and it didn't seem to be that hard. And then, lo and behold, but COVID struck. And we were at home alone for quite a while, which gave me the opportunity to look into it further and begin to try it out and plan my first couple of videos and just see if it was a process that I liked to do. So I started it up. My first few videos are really rough. Not that they've improved greatly because I don't have all the right lights and I don't have the right mics. And I am today sitting in what seems to be a really noisy place in the front of my house. And it's not perfect, it's not a studio, but it's a place that when I look into the camera, I see faces of friends out there. So in the beginning, I didn't think anybody would watch. And I thought I would just have to be continuing to send the links to the videos to my kids. And but lo and behold, some of you came and many of you stayed, and I'm so happy to have you here. And I know a lot of you now by name, and it's fantastic. It's grown me a whole family or community of people that I didn't have previous. And trust me, during COVID, we all needed that family. What are your go-to meals when you're short on time? Well, I have a couple. If I'm really short on time, but I have a pound of burger in the fridge, which I try to keep a pound of burger around, then I probably make hamburger gravy on mashed potatoes, because it's easy enough to peel up and throw in a pot a few potatoes, and then throw some onions in a frying pan, and then throw in the hamburger and make a gravy with that. And then we have the gravy over top of the mashed potatoes. So that'd be one that I would say is really fast. And I think I've made a video about it. So if I remember, I'll try and link that video below. Another one that I would make, not that you call us making, but I cheat like everyone else. I don't always make a home-cooked meal. There are days where it's just too busy for that. So one of us will make the 3-minute trip to the grocery store, and we'll grab a rotisserie chicken and a package of pre-made pasta that's fresh and some sauce. And, you know, within 10 minutes or so you have a meal, and it's quick and easy. And sometimes you just need it to be quick and easy. So I'm like everybody else that way. We do enjoy cooking in our home, and I prefer if I can make meals for us, because then I can control everything. You know, as far as sodium goes, as we age, we need to watch our sodium, and we need to be aware of other things, and cooking meals from scratch gives us an opportunity to do that. Who influenced you most while you were learning to cook? Well, my story is kind of unique in that I was married at 16 years of age. So I didn't have a lot of time to be really impacted by the lessons at home. My mom was a fantastic cook. And when I was paying attention, I learned some really great recipes from her. But a lot of the time I wasn't paying attention. The other woman in my life who was a mentor to me besides my mother was my grandma. Her name was Jenny Allen, and my mom's name was Jenny as well. Jenny Allen, and she was a terrible cook. Grandma couldn't boil, we used to say she couldn't boil water, but that wasn't so. She would put water in with the potatoes to boil on the stove and then boil them dry. She just wasn't a good cook. She was a great gardener, and she was good with the animals, and she just loved to be out of doors, but she wasn't a great cook. And so I learned what not to do from her. And then being married at 16 forces you into learning skills that you had not anticipated you were going to need. I had a husband who worked out every day, and within a short time I had a baby at home. So I had to learn to cook. There wasn't instant food to be bought. I had to learn to cook. And we had some rough meals, I'm not going to lie. We had some rough meals for a few years until I learned the skill. And we had meals that were repeated, you know, on a weekly basis. And sometimes we had the same meal twice in a week until I learned those skills. So for any young viewers out there, don't be disheartened. It takes time to learn how to cook and to prepare a meal, and to plan your meals out and figure out what you have to buy from the store, and so that you don't have to make 15 trips back to the store to pick up things that you had forgotten. It takes time, so don't be hard on yourselves. What are some of your family holiday traditions? Well, I like that question. I would say my favorite holiday is Christmas. And I like to put the tree up 3 weeks before Christmas. So around the 1st of December, I like to get the tree up. And I spend some time decorating my tree and getting it just the way I want it to be. And if there is not one gift underneath that tree, I'm fine by that. It's the traditions around the holidays that I enjoy so much. It's the gathering with family. It's the looking for recipes to create just that perfect dish to take on a potluck dinner to someone's home, because we love to gather as families do, and we try to make sure that if for instance my sister Roxy were coming for Christmas dinner and we were having turkey, we would save the neck for Roxy, because she loves the neck of the turkey. So we always try to make sure there's something special on the menu for each and every person that's there, that they can point out and say, oh, I'm so glad that's here. Other holidays, we don't pay a lot of attention to. Thanksgiving, we do partake in Thanksgiving. We usually get together for a family dinner. This year we're going away to Kamloops to spend a couple of days with our friends there. We have dear friends there who we try to get together with a few times through the year, because they are our best friends, and we really appreciate their company, and we've traveled quite a bit with them, and we try to do that, and we've done that for years. So as far as traditions go, it's just the gathering of people, and of course you can't gather without great food. So it's wonderful when everybody brings out their best dishes, and it's a wonderful time. I just love it. Are there traditions that would be considered typical for people living in Canada? I wouldn't say so, that they would be especially different from anywhere else. On my metrics, I know that a large part of my viewers are from the United States. And I know your age group, the people who watch most. And I would say that our traditions are probably fairly similar in that we have Christmas parades, we have gatherings and meals together, and it's a time when we all just slow down and enjoy for that 1 week or those 3 days off or whatever time you have together. Just enjoy every bit of that. And I don't think that our traditions are very, very different. Where do you plan for this channel to go? Now, that was an interesting question to me. Are you going to go on cooking or expand it to something else? In the beginning, I think the very first video I made, or the second or third, right at the very beginning of this, I did say that this would be a mixed channel of our travels, because I was just setting to retire. So our travels, cooking, crafting, and that kind of thing, that we would share a lot of different things. But as I got into the YouTube world and started to work, we realized that channels that have a single focus do better than channels that are kind of all over the place, unless that's the way you start out. If you're a homesteader and you're taking people around your garden and your home and you're showing them canning and cooking and husbandry, animal husbandry, and how to grow things, then stick to that. But I started out cooking. So I have done one little travel video in there, and it hasn't performed wonderfully, but I'm glad I did it, because it gives us an opportunity to reflect back on that wonderful trip that we took and the things that we learned about Quiet Lodge. And so it's in there for our benefit, as all these videos are, because believe it or not, sometimes I just turn on the TV and go to YouTube and I look up whatever it was that I cooked a month ago and I cook it again. So I cook along with myself. So it's helpful to me that way too. That might sound really crazy, but it's what we do. So I think from this moment that I'm talking about right now, this channel will continue to be a cooking channel. And yes, you will run out of recipes, and so I'll look for new recipes and I will test them, and if I think they're worthy of my friends and my viewers, I will make them, but I will continue to cook on this channel. And does Gino ever cook for you, and what does he make? Yes, Gino does cook for me. I can't remember when the last time was I cooked a Saturday morning breakfast, because he's gone most of the week, and so I'm usually cooking for myself and kind of batch cooking so that I have food to put into containers for him to take while he's on the road. Some nights he's home, so we share meals together, but other nights he's away. So he enjoys cooking a lot, and so he will get up on Saturday morning, and once I'm out of bed, he will get busy and he will make elaborate breakfasts. He likes to cook some traditional things like bacon and eggs, and he'll always make some wonderful potato mixture with that, or fried onions and peppers, or he'll make pancakes and bacon. He loves to cook breakfast. But that's not the only meal he likes to cook. Just night before last, he made us a wonderful chicken noodle soup with leftover chicken from a few nights previous, and it was really delicious. He's a very good cook. He's always enjoyed cooking, and so any chance that he has when he's not tired from his job, he is happy to cook for us. He's made some elaborate dishes. He's a very good all-around cook, and I'm happy to have him in the kitchen with me. And I really appreciate when he's in the kitchen with me when I'm doing big projects like canning or doing batches of things that require a little more time. He's a great help. I appreciate him very much. Last year you said your daughter passed away, but you have your nieces living with you. Did your daughter have kids? And what happened to them? Yes, last year my daughter passed away. She, at the really young age of 20 years old, was diagnosed with lupus, and she had all the known kinds of lupus. She, if you had considered it a lottery, she would have won the lottery. She had all known kinds. So her young son, Mike, came to live with me and my husband while she battled the disease, and it was a horrible disease that we watched her suffer greatly through. In her last days, she had to have her legs amputated. It was really a horrible time for her and for our family as we watched what she was going through, as you can imagine. Mandy was just 53 years old when she died last year. It was a great loss to our family. It's still a loss, one we feel every day. Mandy had 2 children, Michael, who was raised by my husband and myself. When Mandy was really ill, he came to stay with us, and that stay turned into a permanent one. And then she had a daughter, Jessica, and Jessica and her father were able to be with Mandy for quite a number of years before they separated, and then Mandy raised Jessica on her own after that, and it was a struggle for her. And her entire life from the time she was diagnosed at 20 was a struggle. She was a superhuman to have gone on as long as she did and suffer the things she suffered. Every day we miss her dearly, but we know she's in a better place and that she's no longer in the pain and suffering that she was experiencing. So we're so grateful for that. You questioned my 2 nieces who lived with us. 3 years ago, our niece Peyton came to live with us, and she came to us as a fresh, young 15-year-old, and she will turn 18 in January. and in her last year of school, and she's just a delight. I have introduced her before on the channel, and she's brightened our home tremendously. She has a slew of friends who come and go, and it keeps everything light and happy here. And we're certainly grateful for Peyton in our house. In January of this year, her sister Brianna came back after she attempted adulting, and we all know that can be tough. She just needed a place to touch down temporarily while she got her feet back under her, and off she has gone again. So we are down to just Peyton at home now, and when she graduates next year, she plans to get out on her own as well. So then we'll be back down to just the two of us in the house again, and it will be so quiet. I'm going to miss them so much. The next question is, you have said that you come from a large family. How many children do you have? And grandchildren? Well, Gino and I have been married for 28 years. And when we came into this relationship together, he brought 2 children from a previous relationship, and I brought 3 children from my previous relationship. And at the moment, we have Kyle and Tara, who live in Kelowna, Mike, who lives in Kelowna, Patrick, who lives here in Golden. So we have 4 since the passing of Mandy. We have 11 grandchildren, and we are absolutely excited to be grandparents. Unfortunately, most of them live far away, so a lot of traveling is involved to be able to see our grandchildren, and as we age, that becomes more difficult. We, Gino and I, each come from reasonably big families. Gino is one of 6. He was one of the boys in the middle. He has 4 brothers, and the youngest one is a sister. I come from a family of 5 natural children. I have 2 brothers younger and 2 sisters younger. And when my mom and dad divorced and my dad remarried, his wife Helen brought 7 of her children into our family. So that made me the oldest of 12. So while we're not all close, we still keep in touch, and I am happy about those relationships. Gino has a very tight family, having most of his siblings living right here close to us, so we spend a lot of time with them, and they're the ones that we share holidays and even vacations with. We've been to Mexico together. In the last couple of years, we've been to Mexico together. We've been to Spain together. We have been to Vegas together. So we enjoy traveling them. We all get along really well, and we love to travel, and we love family. Next question is, early to bed or early to rise? I am not early to bed. I'm a night owl. I like to be up until midnight. Midnight's good for me. But then I'm also not early to rise, so I don't usually get up before 7:45 or 8 o'clock. And if I have to set an alarm for some reason to get up, I can do that, but I like nice slow mornings. Morning starts for me around 10 after I've had my coffee, which I get up in the morning, I fix myself a cup of coffee and sit down and drink it and think about my day, and then I finally get busy. So my husband, Gino, he is just about the opposite to me. A lot of that comes from years working in the bush hauling logs when they would have to be out on a landing at 2 or 3 a.m. To get off the roads before dawn, or before the road bans went on, or the reasons that they wouldn't be able to go back into the bush that day. So here they have a breakup period where just before breakup they have to go into the bush to load logs onto the logging trucks before the frost comes out in the morning. So Yeah, years of getting up really, really early in the morning and going to bed early at night. Sometimes he's in bed by 7 o'clock. So we have very different sleep schedules, but we've worked it out over the years, and we're happy with things the way they are. What is your favorite economical meal, and what do you make for a splurge or a special occasion? Oh, my favorite economical meal. Well, I'm not afraid to have pancakes for dinner with a few pieces of bacon. So that's pretty economical. I think probably the hamburger gravy that I spoke about before, that's pretty economical. I mean, it's a pound a burger, which right now the prices are horrible, but it stretches far. You can, feed quite a few people off one batch, and just add a few more potatoes to the pot and you can stretch it even further. Yeah, just simple things. We don't eat high on the hog all the time. Probably once a week I buy a rotisserie chicken and we'll have it for a dinner, and then the next day we'll have sandwiches, and then the third day we'll put that chicken in a pot and make soup or chicken and dumplings or something with the leftovers. So we've learned how to, stretch meals to make them work. And I made a video about that too, so I'll try and find that rotisserie chicken dinner meal and show you what we did with that meal to make it stretch out. As far as meals that I make for a special occasion, I've worked really hard on this channel to follow your leads, and a lot of you have asked for economical, simple meals that you can feed yourself and your families with, or feed and pack away for other meals. So I'm conscious of what I'm sharing with you. I do make meals that take me an hour to make at home that I don't share. But one I would say that I like to make that doesn't take a lot of time but does take a fancy ingredient, which usually I try not to make any recipes for you that require you to buy a special ingredient, because then that makes that opportunity for you to cook something kind of unrealistic. But I do like to make a chicken piccata, and it's my own version of it. I wouldn't say that it's somebody's special recipe, but I do make a chicken piccata that has wine in it and has lots of butter, and it has just yummy ingredients. It's simple to make, but it's just a little fancier than the regular meals I make for YouTube. I also love to make different beef dishes, and I haven't been sharing a lot of them recently just for the sheer fact that beef has gotten so expensive. And not only is it expensive for my home, but I know that it's going to be expensive for your home. So I try to keep those kinds of meals out of the videos for that reason. And the last question on this list today was, how long have you lived in Golden, BC? And I was born here in Golden, BC, as was my husband Gino. We were raised on neighboring farms out in the valley, 11 miles south of Golden, or 12 miles south of Golden. The corner of his family farm touched the corner of my family farm. And so we were always aware of each other and became friends while we were both young people, but we were in different relationships at the time. And so we eventually found our way to each other, and found no good reason to leave, because everything that we've ever needed was here, except our kids, who are far away. But we travel to see them whenever we can, and we can't imagine leaving Golden. It's a small town of 4,000 people, or just about 4,000 people. We have excellent health care here. We have probably more doctors per capita than anywhere in the province of British Columbia. And we know that we can age in place here and not have to think about moving into an apartment or someplace else. We've got ourselves set up in such a way that we can age in our home, and we have very low expenses where we live, and we can't think of any reason why we would leave Golden. So folks, that's your questions. Those are the questions. When I posted it on the community channel, those are the questions that you asked me that you wanted to know about, and I said anything that you wanted to ask was okay, and you asked me some good questions. I appreciate you all so much that you followed along, that you keep coming back week after week, and I hope that you're doing that with a cup of coffee or tea in your hand, and that you feel like a friend, because that's what you feel like to me. I look forward to bringing you a new video next week, and I promise you that it'll go back to being food. I hope you've gotten something out of today's video, and I will see you again soon on the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.